Have you ever been punished for telling the truth? If yes, what was that experience like? Well, this is a story about a young girl who was banished from her village for speaking the truth to her chief. Without further ado, let's get into the story. Once upon a time in the heart of Africa, nestled between rolling hills and a sparkling lake, there was a small village known as Maboli. The chief was pleased. He saw in his son a reflection of himself, someone who understood the importance of their traditions and was eager to carry on the legacy. This village was not just any ordinary settlement. It was special because of its strong connection to the spiritual world. But the chief had a problem. He needed an assistant, someone to help him perform the rituals and interpret the messages from the spirit world. He would describe the various spirits, some benevolent and some mischievous, that inhabited their surroundings. He wanted her to learn more about their culture and traditions from other communities. While preparing for the trip, Amara's stepbrother devised a wicked plan. He slipped a love charm into the bag of dried herbs that her father would use during the ceremonies. His aim was to humiliate and disgrace Amara. He told her about the ceremonies, about the rhythms and incantations used to appease them. In his rage, he banished Amara from the village, accusing her of trying to control him through witchcraft. Heartbroken and confused, Amara left her home. The only sound was the rustle of the wind through the tall grasses. Finally, the old woman spoke. Just when her hope began to dwindle, she spotted a clearing. And in the center of the clearing stood a magnificent palace made of shimmering white stone. She walked along the dirt roads, her feet heavy with each step, the weight of her father's betrayal pressing down on her. He doesn't even believe I'm innocent. But remember, true wisdom lies not in revenge, but in understanding. As she chanted, a mist began to rise from the ground, swirling around Amara, enveloping her in its cool embrace. And so he turned to polygamy, taking two wives in the hopes of finding the perfect candidate. Her eyes, now filled with a newfound clarity, looked out at the landscape. She understood what the old woman meant. I will go back, she said, her voice ringing with newfound confidence. Not to punish my father, but to help him see the truth. She wasn't there to seek revenge, but to bring light into darkness. You were certain I was trying to control you, weren't you? The chief, torn between his trust in his son and his daughter's bold claim, remained silent. The charm, exposed by Amara's magic, lost its power and turned to dust. Silence fell over the village. No one moved, no one spoke. Is it true? They had been fooled, had believed the false accusations of a young girl. Shame and regret washed over them. Did you put this spell on me? I am proud of the young woman you have become. He asked his son, his voice heavy with disappointment. Her story became a legend, a reminder for the people of Maboli that wisdom and truth often lie where one least expects them. They stared at the spot where the charm had fallen, now nothing but a pile of grey dust. If you like this story, please don't forget to hit the like button below the video. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss out on any of our future uploads. Also, you can leave your comments below. We would love to hear from you. And with that being said, see you next time. The villagers, recognizing their folly, welcomed Amara back into their hearts. But it was my stepbrother, jealous of our relationship, who bewitched you. He then turned to Amara, his expression softening. Every full moon, the villagers gathered together for a ceremony that was deeply rooted in their belief system. The woman, adorned with tribal tattoos and ornaments, looked up at Amara with keen eyes. She went straight to her father, her head held high, her eyes shining with determination. Was she a witch after all? The chief looked at his daughter, surprise etched on his face. "Let me prove it to you," she said, her voice soft yet resolute. With the villagers watching in suspense, Amara led her stepbrother to the center of the village. There, in front of everyone, she began to chant. Her voice rose and fell, weaving a powerful spell that seemed to shake the very foundations of the earth. Ignoring the whispers and sidelong glances of the villagers, she stepped forward. At the center of these ceremonies was the chief, a man highly respected by the villagers for his wisdom and his ability to communicate with the spirits. Amara hesitated, unsure if she could trust the old woman. "You, Amara, hold the key to solving this problem, but he cannot see it. Would you go back and help him?" But desperate for help, she poured out her tale, explaining to the old woman how she'd been unjustly banished. The arrival of the baby girl, whom they named Amara, filled the household with laughter and joy. Everyone doted on her, and she grew up as a beautiful, intelligent young woman. He claimed that Amara was a witch, that she was using her father's love for her to manipulate him and gain power over him. The idea of returning to her father seemed like a distant dream. How could she, after the way he treated her, ever think of going back? Yet something in the old woman's eyes, a mix of wisdom and kindness, made Amara reconsider. His first wife bore him a son, and when the child grew up, he became his father's apprentice, learning the ancient rites and rituals. But the chief's joy knew no bounds when his second wife, who was much younger than his first, gave birth to a baby girl. Amara loved listening to her father's stories about the spirit world. As Amara grew older, her stepbrother, jealous of all the attention she received, started to spread rumors about her. One day, the chief decided to take Amara on a journey to a neighboring village. When the chief discovered the charm in his bag, he was furious. She wandered for days, the vastness of the wilderness mirroring the emptiness in her heart. As Amara approached the palace, she noticed an old woman sitting on a nearby rock. "Why have you come here?" the old woman asked, her voice raspy but strong. When Amara finished her story, the old woman remained silent for a moment. "Your father, the chief, is troubled by a problem he doesn't understand." Amara was taken aback. "I hate my father," Amara said, her voice trembling with suppressed emotions. The old woman nodded understandingly. It is hard to see clearly when one is too close to a problem. I can help you gain that clarity. With that, the old woman performed a ritual, drawing symbols in the dirt and chanting words in an ancient language. When the mist cleared, Amara felt a surge of energy flow through her. Taking a deep breath, Amara turned towards the old woman. Upon her return to Maboli, Amara wasted no time. "Father, I know why you banished me," she said, her voice echoing with quiet authority. The villagers gasped. How could she know? Amara continued, her gaze unwavering. "You believed I had bewitched you." As Amara spoke, her stepbrother paled. He tried to protest, but no words came out. Amara, sensing her father's uncertainty, reached out and touched his hand. As the chant reached its crescendo, her stepbrother collapsed, the love charm falling from his grasp. Finally, the chief broke the silence. His son, his face ashen, could only nod in response. A wave of anger surged through the villagers. The chief, his eyes blazing with fury, banished his son from the village, stripping him of his title and possessions. "Amara," he said, reaching out to embrace her, "you have shown great courage and wisdom." And so Amara returned to her rightful place in the village, not as a banished daughter, but as a hero who had saved them all from darkness. From that day forward, Amara assisted her father in his ceremonies, her knowledge and insight proving invaluable, the young girl who once faced banishment became the village's most respected member. Her name echoing through generations as a symbol of courage and honesty, and so our story ends. Here, I hope you enjoyed this African story. Thank you for listening, watching, and sharing.